Hi friends, Science Circle is back with a new video. Welcome once again to Science Circle. Today we will discuss about nucleus, eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. First we will start with the structure of nucleus. Robert Brown discovered and named the nucleus first in plant cell. Do you know nucleus is known as the brain of the cell? As I have discussed in my previous video, when we prepare a slide, the dark stained centrally placed component present in each cell, whether a plant or an animal, is known as nucleus. Let us discuss the structure of nucleus in details. Nucleus is bounded by a double membrane structure, which is known as nuclear membrane. These two membranes are outer membrane and inner membrane, both forming together as a nuclear envelope. This separates the nuclear material or the components from the external part, that is the cytoplasm. Sometimes both of the membranes joins together, which helps to form various pores in the nuclear membrane. The space between the two membranes is called perinuclear space. Peri means around. The nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope encloses the jelly-like substance which is present inside it, which is known as nucleoplasm. The space within the nuclear envelope is basically filled up with a transparent semi-solid granular ground substance, which is the matrix, which is known as the nucleoplasm. The nuclear components such as nucleolus and chromatin threads remain suspended in it. So till now we have seen two main parts. One is nuclear membrane and the nucleoplasm. The next important part is the nucleolus. This is the dense spherical granule stained within the nucleus. Its size is related to the synthetic activity of the cell. For example, the cells like neurons and secretory cells which synthesize proteins have comparatively larger nucleoli, whereas which have no synthetic activity, example sperm cell or muscle cell, they are having a comparatively small nuclei. So nucleolus is known as the factory of ribosomes. Ribosomes are basically helpful in protein synthesis in cytoplasm. We are having another more structure, as you can see, that is a thread-like structure. This thread-like coiled filaments which are uniformly distributed in the nucleoplasm is known as chromatin fibers. At the time of cell division, the chromatin becomes thick and ribbon-like, which is known as chromosomes. A nucleus contains as many chromatin fibers as the number of chromosomes that appear during cell division. What is this chromatin fiber basically made up of? The chromatin fibers are composed of DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, and histones, which is a type of protein. The DNA winds around a core of 8 histone molecules. Each such complex is known as nucleosome. The chromosomes bear genes. The genes are basically responsible for the transmission of the hereditary characters from one generation to the other. Like our parents or partly like our grandparents, this is the maybe hair color, maybe your structure of your eyes, nose, whatever it can be. This is because of this genes which is responsible for carrying the characteristics from the parents to the offspring. We are having 46 chromosomes in each human body. We will discuss in details about the chromosome structure in the later part of the video. The 46 chromosomes is constant for all human body. Now we will be discussing about the role of nucleus in the cell. As we have already said that nucleus is called as the brain of the cell. Why? Because nucleus controls all the metabolic activities of the cell. If the nucleus is removed from a cell, the protoplasm eventually dries up and finally dies. The cell is of no use anymore. This nucleus basically regulates the cell division. It is also concerned with the transmission of the hereditary traits from the parents to the offspring. The nucleolus also stores protein, which is prepared by the nucleolus, where the ribosomes are present. Hope the structure and function of the nucleus is clear now to you all. So now we will divide cellular organism into two main categories, that is prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. We will start our discussion with prokaryotic cell. As the term prokaryote is derived from the Greek word pro, that means before, and karyon means kernel. If we translate, we get it before nuclei. Prokaryotes are one of the most ancient groups of living organisms on the earth. They have fossil records which are billion years ago. They are not having a proper nucleus, nuclear membrane. Rather than they are having an undefined nuclear region in the cytoplasm, which is known as nucleoid. In a prokaryotic cell, other membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. are also absent. Ribosomes, however, is present in the prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells are comparatively much more smaller and simpler than the eukaryotic cell. Reproduction takes place by binary fission. If we see the detailed structure of a prokaryotic cell, we will be seeing they are not having a nuclear membrane. Hence, the genetic material is present in a region in a cytoplasm which is known as nucleoid. They can be spherical, rod-shaped or spiral. A prokaryotic cell consists of a capsule, which is the outer protective covering found in the bacterial cells in addition to cell wall. Next comes the cell wall, which is the outermost layer of the cell which gives shapes to the different types of the bacterial cell. Below the cell wall lies the cytoplasm, which is composed of enzymes, salts, cell organelles and a gel-like component, cell membrane, which is surrounding the cytoplasm and regulates the entry and exit of the substances in the cell. Now we will see a separate type of structure, that is the hair-like outgrowth, which is remaining attached to the surface of the bacterial cells. Other than that, sometimes we can see a long structure in which a weep type is formed, which is helping in the locomotion of the cell, known as flagella. Ribosomes are also present here, which is involved in the protein synthesis. Other than that, we are having plasmids, which is a non-chromosomal DNA structure, neither involved in reproduction also. Now let's discuss about a eukaryotic cell. The term eukaryotes is derived from the Greek word eu, meaning good, and karyon means kernel, therefore translating it to a good or a true nuclei. Eukaryotes are the most complex and much more bigger and larger than the prokaryotes. They include almost all of the major kingdoms except the kingdom Monera, which we will be learning in our upcoming videos. Structurally, eukaryotes possess a cell wall which supports and protects the plasma membrane in case of plant cell. The cell is surrounded by a plasma membrane which is controlling the entry and exit of certain materials. The nucleus contains DNA which is responsible for storing all the genetic information, surrounded by a nuclear membrane, and it is also having the nucleolus. So a well-organized nucleus is present in an eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell also contain the membrane-bound organelles as like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum in the cytoplasm. We will be learning about the structure of plant cell and animal cell separately in our upcoming videos. So you have understood the difference between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So here is a chart given for your convenience. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel before closing it. Hope you will like my video and please do share my video if you like it. Thank you.